Hello everybody, my name is Jung-se Lee. Today's topic is year-end tax settlement. We call this 연말정산 in Korean. Well, here are the contents I am talking about today. The first one is the definition. So what is the year-end tax settlement? We need to understand the definition of year-end tax settlement, 연말정산. And second one is calculation frame. So this is big picture of the 연말정산. And the third one will be just the deductions. And fourth one will be tax rate table. Fifth one will be tax credits. So deductions and credits are the main topics we will talk about today. So the last one will be the others. And I will deliver just 2 or 3 things you need to get to know. Okay, let's start. First one is definition. So the 연말정산, year-end tax settlement, you need to have the salary income. There are many incomes in Korean income tax law. Actually, 6 categories: interest income, dividend income, salary income, business income, and the pension income, other income, etc. And the capital gains tax and severance income tax as well. So among those incomes, you need to have the salary income to apply the 연말정산. So here, employee and freelancer, you need to have salary income, as I told you. So you need to be an employee of a company, not freelancer. So the difference between employee and the freelancer is here, the dependent versus independent. So employee means you will be dependent of a certain company. Freelancer will be an independent of a company. So you need to be an employee. And it means that you need to have employment contract with the company. And second one is withholding tax table, where you will be get paid the salary every month. Okay, so you should pay the salary income tax for the every month salary, and but just your employer will be paying the salary income tax instead of you. So actually, your employer does not know how much employment tax, the salary income tax you need to pay. So according to the withholding tax table, your employer, the company, will be withholding some of your salary income tax. I will show you the withholding tax table here. The last one here. This is the simple withholding tax table. So your employer, your company, will be referable to this withholding tax table. So here, the left side, the monthly salary is here, and right side, the number of dependents. So the withholding tax vary under the number of dependents and the monthly salary. Here, the first column is your monthly salary between 180 to 420. And if we have only one dependent, your employer will be withholding this amount, 219 and 990. And if you have 5 dependents, and you will have your employer will be withholding 94.1 thousand Korean won. So your employer will be withholding this amount according to the monthly salary and number of dependents. But you need to know this, the tax withholding tax amount is not final tax amount. this is approximate to your salary income tax. So if we go back to the original slide here, so your employer will be paying salary tax every month, right? So paying the withholding tax by your employer. So I told you that those are not your final tax amounts. So we need to take the step to calculate the final tax amount. We call this year-end tax settlement, 연말정산. So if your total tax withheld every month exceeds the final tax amount, and you will get tax refund. However, if the total tax withheld every month below the final tax amount, and you should pay additional tax amount. And who is doing the process? Your employer. You do not have to do year-end tax settlement. So your employer is knowing your salary information and some of your deductions. And what does you should do? And you should just gather the documents regarding deductions and credits, and you just submit the documents to your employer. And you should visit home tax website to get the documents regarding deductions and credits. And when will be done? And the February next year. So for 2025, year-end tax settlement, it should be done February 2026. Okay, second topic is calculation frame. So here, this slide shows the calculation frame, salary income tax calculation. How can we calculate the salary income tax in accordance with the income tax law? From the top of this frame is annual gross salary. This is just the annual income you will be receiving, you received from your company, and here is the salary income deduction. So after salary income deduction, you will get salary income. And here are another deductions. There are many deductions in income tax law. And just after subtracting these deductions, you will get tax base. And you apply the tax rate, and you will get a salary income tax amount. And you can apply for tax credits. And after the tax credits, you will get the tax amount after credits. And you just deduct the tax prepaid, and you will get final tax amount. So here, there are, as you see, there are many deductions and credits here. So deductions and credits are the main topics we will talk about today class. Okay, and the next slide. Here, the first one, here, salary income deduction. Here, salary income deduction. The salary income deduction, we can calculate with the gross salary. The deduction amount will be changeable by the gross salary amount. So if your gross salary is 0 to 5 million, then just 70% of deduction. Okay, 70% of your gross salary will be the deduction, salary income deduction. 5 million to 50 million, so this calculation applies. So from the 3.5 million start, and the gross salary minus 5 million times 40%. Your gross salary 50 million to 45 million, 7.5 million plus. The gross salary exceeding 50 million times 15%. 45 million to 100 million, 12 million plus the gross salary exceeding 45 million times 5%. Over 100 million, this calculation, 2%, only 2%. But the deduction, salary income deduction has the limit, 20 million. even if your salary amount may be just 1 billion Korean won, so even if you have the salary income deduction over 20 million with this calculation, you only apply the deduction only 20 million. This is salary income deduction. This is very simple calculation. Here, the second deduction is personal deduction. Personal deduction means you will be a taxpayer, and if you have dependents, such as your spouse and children and parents, brother and sister, or adoptee, then you will get personal deductions. However, to apply for this personal deduction, there are two conditions. The one is age condition and the other one is income condition. Let's take a look in detail. Next slide. This is personal deductions, the amount and the conditions. Here, deduction, the kind of deduction, taxpayer. I told you will be a taxpayer. Then the taxpayer deduction has no any conditions. Income and age, no conditions. This 1.5 million will be automatically applied. Taxpayer, 1.5 million per year, no conditions. Spouse deduction. If we have a spouse, then you may have chance to get 1.5 million deduction. However, there is one condition for spouse deduction. The income condition, the income of your spouse should be no more than 1 million per year. Then you will get 1.5 million spouse deduction. Okay? No age condition for spouse deduction. And here, dependence deduction. Told you, if you have children, or your parents, or your brother and sisters, or adoptee, then you will get another 1.5 million deduction. So there are two conditions here, income and age condition. Your dependents should be no more than 1 million income per year, and the age should be below 20 or above 60. Below 20 will be just your children, right? And above 60, the age condition will be your parents, okay? So here, additional personal deduction you have. The senior deduction is 1 million Korean won. The deduction amount will be 1 million Korean won. So I told you that there are two conditions, income and age condition. 1 million, below 1 million of income, and the age should be 70, over 70. So if you have, let's suppose you have your parents, your father, and the age will maybe just 75 years old and no income at all, then you have dependent deduction and senior deduction, two deductions for your father, okay? And the disabled deduction, just if we have the disabled among your the family, then you have 2 million deduction. The disabled deduction is just a no age condition, only the income condition. The income of the disabled should be no more than 1 million per year, okay? And women condition here, if you are a woman and your income is no more than 30 million per year, then you will apply just 500,000 deduction more, okay? And here the single deduction is here too. The amount is 1 million Korean won. Okay, so if you are a single daddy or single mom, so you have no spouse, but with the children and you have adoptee, then you can apply just 1 million deduction, okay? And if you are a woman, let's suppose if you are a woman and if you are a single mom, and just you can apply the both. Can you apply the both deductions? No, only one deduction possible for the women and the single deduction, okay? This is personal deduction. The more the deductions, the less the salary income tax amount. Okay. Here, the example of the personal deduction. Okay. First, taxpayer, yourself, you are the 48 years old, and your gross salary is 80 million for 2025, and you have a spouse, 48 years old, you have son 1, first son, age 22, and your son is the disabled, okay? Son 2, you have second son, the age 15. You have also a daughter, age 5. You have the father, okay, age 69. And you have father-in-law, okay, age 71. Here is another just option. Nobody has income, okay? So nobody has income. I told you that to get the personal deduction, the two conditions, income condition and age condition. So you don't have to consider income condition here because nobody has income in this example. How much will the personal deduction be in 2025? The answer is taxpayer. This is automatically the deduction, 1.5 million. You have spouse, no income, no age condition, okay? So you can apply for spouse deduction, 1.5 million. You have dependents who? Son 1, son 2, daughter 1, father and father-in-law, okay? So 5 people, okay? So 5 times 1.5 million equals 7.5 million. So you have dependents deduction, 7.5 million. Okay, your son, first son is the disabled. So you can apply the disabled deduction, 2 million, okay? No income, your first son has no income. So you can apply for the disabled the deduction, 2 million, okay? And here, the senior deduction, told you, if we go back the previous slide, here, seniors, the 1 million income, and if the age over just 70, then you can apply senior deduction. Here, you have father-in-law, okay, over 70 years old. Your father-in-law, 71 years old. So you can apply the senior deduction, the additional deduction, 1 million Korean won. Your father, you can apply the senior deduction for your father because your father, the age is just 69, okay? So 1 million senior deduction, so total amount, if we add all the deductions, then you will get 13.5 million, okay? This is personal deduction, okay? And next, here, if we go back to the personal, the salary income tax calculation frame, see, we just talked about salary income deduction here, and the personal deduction here, deductions. So there are many deductions here. So one of the deductions was personal deduction. A second deduction will be here, pension premium deduction. Pension premium deduction, you will be paying national pension every month. When you get paid, when you receive your salary by your employee, you should pay national pension. National pension is one of the 4 major social insurances in Korea. 국민연금, national pension. So your employer should pay national pension, okay? So if you paid the national pension by your employer, you can get the pension, you can apply the pension premium deduction, okay? There is no limit. No limit for pension premium deduction, okay? If you pay 국민연금, then every month you can apply pension premium deduction, okay? This is very simple. Our next deduction will be special deduction. there are two kinds of special deductions here. Okay, the first one is social insurance premium deduction. Okay, told you you will be paying national pension 국민연금 every month. Okay, and you should pay national health insurance premium, employment insurance, and long-term care insurance premium as well. These are the four major social insurances in Korea. Okay, so whenever you get the salary every month by your employer, you should pay national pension and these kinds of the insurance premiums. So when you pay this social insurance premium, you also get the social insurance premium deduction. Okay, you have no choice. You should pay the social insurance premium as well, like a national pension. Second one is housing deduction. Okay, if you try to own your own house, or you should have some just the house to live. Okay, so here is key money loan for house rent. You may know this key money loan. So, there is a very special system in Korea, 전세. So, key money, if you just have contract under the 전세, then you should pay the key money. It is a lot of money, right? So, if you don't have enough money, you may borrow some money for your key money for your house. Okay? So, if you borrowed some money for your key money from the banks, then you should pay the principal and interest to your bank. Okay? Then you can apply the housing deductions. Okay? The amount will be just 40% of principal and interest amount. Okay? 40% of interest, principal and interest amount. Here is another just housing deduction, savings for buying house. You may open the savings account in your bank. The purpose to open the savings account is to buy your house. And you also pay, so you will just pay the amount in the account, savings account. So the deduction amount will be 40% of deposit in the account. Okay, the deposit in the account, the payment is a little different from the key money loan for house rent and the savings for buying house. So 40% of deposit in the account. Okay, so you have deposit and you also apply for the deduction for the deposit. However, you have a limit, only 4 million, 1 plus 2. Key money loan for house rent and savings for buying house. The amount, you just add 2 amounts and just the limit should be only just 4 million per year. It is not that much. Okay, here is another housing deduction, loan for buying house. Okay, the third one, you already bought your house with your loan. Okay, then you should pay interest amount for the loan, right? Then if you pay interest amount for the loan after buying your house, then you can apply housing deduction. However, also there is a limit, 6 million to 20 million for all 3 the deductions. This is not too much. Okay, this is housing deduction. Okay, and next one will be the credit card deduction. You use credit card when you live in Korea, right? Credit card deduction, then you can apply credit card deduction, 신용카드 공제. Okay, so what is the possible credit card deduction? Credit card, taxpayer, you yourself, And your spouse and your dependents who are met the income condition, you know, just 1 million income condition, you remember, right? So you and your spouse and your dependents who met the income deduction, just use the credit card, then you can apply the credit card deduction. However, you need to consider the brother and sister will be excluded. Okay, brother and sister will be can be your dependents, right? If you live with brother and sister, but the credit card deduction, brother and sister will be excluded. You, spouse, and dependents. Dependents means your children and your parents. Okay. Here, the kind of the cards will be the credit card and debit card, 직불 card, debit card, and cash receipt. Here, cash receipt, you just pay in cash. You ask the 사장님, of the restaurant to issue cash receipt. Then you can apply the credit card deduction. Okay, so credit card, debit card, cash receipt. Here is the calculation. How much can you get the credit card deduction? Here is the calculation. Payment with cards. Here, credit card, debit card, and cash receipt. Minus 25% of gross salary times 15%, 30%, or 40%. Okay? 15% credit card, 30% debit card, cash receipt, sports and culture payment. Okay? 40% traditional market and public transportation, subway or public bus. Okay? So it means that 15%, 40%, 40% is much higher than 15%, right? Then it means that if you use traditional market to spend your money, okay, if you use the public transportation instead of a car, then you will get higher deduction. Okay? Here's the calculation. Payment with cards minus 25% of gross salary. It means that if the payment with cards less than 25% of your gross salary, then you cannot apply the credit card deduction. It means that you should pay a lot, more than 25% of gross salary. Okay, so if you just, your gross salary is maybe 40 million won, 2025, you should spend you should pay with the credit card at least 10 million Korean won. Then you can apply the credit card deduction. And there is also a limit here, 2.5 million to 6 million. Okay, 2.0 million to 6 million. If you just spend just sports and culture, your money, then just you may just have more limit. Okay, so this is a limit, is not that big amount. Okay, so credit card deduction, you can apply if you use credit card, debit card, and if you receive cash receipt. Okay. Next, here is tax rate table. If we go back to the income tax calculation frame here, annual gross salary, your 연봉, annual salary, minus salary income deduction, salary income, applying the deductions. We talked about personal income deduction, okay, national pension premium deduction, and credit card deduction kind of things, and you will get tax base here, okay, and you should apply tax rate. Tax rate, income tax rate. So how is the income tax rate? This is the income tax rate table. You know, income tax rate, tax bracket here. So we have 8 tax brackets here. Okay, it depends on the tax base, the amount of tax base. Tax rate, the lowest one is 6%. The highest one is 45%. Okay, 6% to 45%. Your tax base, 0 to 40 million, applying 6%, lowest one. It means then income tax amount will be small amount, right? 40 million, 50 million, 15%. 50, 80, 24, 35, 150 to 300 million, 38, 40. So the tax base, your tax base is over just 1 billion, 45%. Very high. What do you think? 45%? This is not the end, just 45%. There is a surtax, the income tax rate. We call this 지방소득세, local income tax, which will be 10% of income tax rate. So local income tax will be applying for every step of tax base. Every step of tax base. So actually, you should pay 6.6%, 16.5%. This tax bracket, 40% income tax rate, you should add 4% local income tax again. Okay, so 44%. Here, 45%, you should add 10% over 45% will be 4.5%. And after all, you should pay 49.5%, almost 50%. However, this is not the end at all. You should pay another semi-tax, which is National Health Insurance Premium, 건강보험료, which will be around 8% or 9%. So you should add 8 or 9% National Health Insurance Premium rate again here. So you got just around 50% of the income tax rate and the local income tax rate, and you should add 8% more, which you just will get just around just 58 or just 60%, which means the highest tax rate is not 45%, but around 60%. So if you just make money around just 1,000 Korean won, you should pay 600 Korean won. And you only just 400 Korean won will go to your pocket. Okay? It's big amount of income tax. This is income tax rate table. Okay? So again, I'm telling you a lot the calculation frame because it is very important for you to understand the calculation, the salary income tax calculation. So we are here, we talked about the tax rate here. And you just apply this tax rate, you just multiply just tax base times just tax rate, then you will get salary income tax amount. Okay? And you can apply tax credits here. There are many tax credits as well. Okay?